All right, Coach, from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Hands up, lady! Watch the run, watch the run! Hands up!
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Big series right here. We got to step it up. Watch twist. Watch twist.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8.
Keep it up, guys. Check it out. 368.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 50-yard line. Hands up, Lee! Check back, check back.
From midfield here, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And the ball is knocked out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. He's got it at the 15. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. John Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hauschka adds the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
Let's go!
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
368!
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Hey, echo!
Second and 10. Dalton once more. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Trent Murphy. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just know.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Lorenzo Alexander wreaking the defensive havoc.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Airing one out for Boyd. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter doing pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Allen going to throw. Pass caught. It's the rookie from Ole Miss, Dawson Knox. 23 yards the pickup there. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They pitch it out to Singletary. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Hey, what did he? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All day. All together.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Robert Foster, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Hauschka with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. To return is McKenzie. Touchdown, Buffalo. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, it's Miller. And he's got some space here. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action here with Dalton. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Lorenzo Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action now. Dalton. And the pressure gets to him again. Jordan Phillips in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Dalton sets up play action. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one complete to Robert Foster. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
It's a gain of 7.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some muscle on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And all the way home for the Bills touchdown. Robert Foster with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Jordan Phillips is the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we...
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Hauschka with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, Miller. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And he's loose again. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. That'll go down as a 92-yard punt return score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Again, it's Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Miller, and this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. McKenzie now to return it. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run here with Singletary. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Singletary again. And now look at him go. The 20, 10. A big play here for Buffalo. 77 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Devin Singletary with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
Let's go!
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
They go right back to Singletary. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, 73 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, That's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep it on the ground. Miller, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Mike, 54. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
On 3rd down, Singletary. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll run with Miller, and he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And it's third down.
Hands up! Connect tees!
41 Mike. Pick it up, guys.
Go, can!
41.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Miller. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And finally brought down at the 38. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 38-yard line. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just called the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Miller. And an alley to run. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Lead!
Hey, watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Hands up!
And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Bucs.